Hey everybody, welcome to Brothers Black Studio. I'm Al Black. Today we're going to talk about snare tuning. Alright, so grab your snare, bring it out, put it in front of you. What we're going to do is detune all of the lugs. I want you to go around and detune all of the lugs until they just get loose, and then put a half a turn on them, okay? I have 8 lugs, so I'll go around. Okay, loose, touching, that's just where the lug starts to touch the rim, right where the rim starts to move down, okay? So this is loose, touching, half a turn, okay? I put a half a turn on the drum key from there. That's 1. Loose, touching, half a turn, okay? And I go around and do that on all the lugs, top and bottom. So now my drum is at the lowest tuning that it could ever be. You want to know where your snare is at, okay? You want to understand your snare. So if you tune it from its lowest tuning all the way up to its highest tuning and record it every time you do a tuning step, then you'll end up with a grid like this. This is the grid of the tuning range of my DW snare here. So this is the bottom head. It goes from a half turn, a quarter turn at a time, all the way up to 3 turns on the bottom. This is the top head right here. It goes from 1 full turn, it goes a quarter turn at a time, up to 1 3/4 turns. So right now it's a half turn on the bottom, half turn on top. I know that doesn't sound good. Okay, so I'm going to go around and put a half turn on each lug. 2, that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay? With my tuning method, if you go around and put a half turn on each lug, generally it'll be close. If it's not exact, put a quarter turn on a lug that sounds offensive, and it usually brings it to where you need to be. You're never very far out with this method, okay? So now we've got a full turn on top and a half turn on the bottom. Again, such a loose tuning on the bottom, it's not an effective tuning, but this is what it sounds like. You know, I can put a moon gel. So this is my starting tuning on the top for my grid. Is 1 full turn on top, half a turn on the bottom. So from here, I would go to my second top tuning. I just go around and put another quarter turn on each lug. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'll play that and record that. Usually I put a moon gel on. So I'm going to sample this snare drum at this tuning, right? Which means I'll hit it hard in the middle. I'll record a rim shot, maybe even a buzz stroke. And then again, another quarter turn on top. So this will give me 1.5 turns on top. I just recorded that last thing, right? Don't forget the recording step. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That one didn't go all the way. Still super loose. The low tuning on the bottom makes this pretty useless, right? And then I would go up 1 more, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Record that, go up again, another quarter turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Record that. It's getting really tight, right? So right now that tuning is, that's a whack tuning. We got half a turn on the bottom, and where do we get to? Like 2 full turns on top or something like that? Let me just play you half turn on the bottom tunings, okay? So this is low. Now tighten it. Tighten it again. Another quarter turn. Okay, so that's the full tuning range with a half a turn on the bottom. Then you take the top back down, okay? So we're gonna go down by half turn at a time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You'll notice I always grab the lug where I start, okay? So that way I know. I go, this is an 8 lug drum, so I just do a cross pattern after that, okay? Let's go back down. How should we? 1, 2, another half turn, right? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there's probably like, this is probably pretty loose or a half a turn on each one, right? So loose, half a turn, loose, half a turn. So you're gonna go around and put a half a turn on each lug again, okay? Reset it, right? We're resetting the whole thing at half a turn. Touching, half a turn, right? Touching, half a turn, touching, half a turn. It's like a guitar string, right? You want to tune it down and then tune it back up. So I've taken it down to half a turn, or we want to take it back to our starting tuning on the top, which is 1 full turn, right? So I put a half a turn on each lug. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now there's a full turn on each lug on the top, okay? So then you flip it over, you put a quarter turn on each lug on the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right? Flip it back over. You see where we're going now, right? So now we got 3/4 of a turn on the bottom and a full turn on top. Record it. I had a blue sticky somewhere. Might move this microphone a little bit, just get a little bit more open sound. Okay? Again, super loose tuning. Then I would tune it up a quarter turn again, record it, tune it up a quarter turn again, record it, tune it up a quarter turn again, record it. That's sort of my highest pitch on top. Turn it up to 3/4 of a turn on the bottom, and then do it again. Here's a full turn on the top. One and a quarter. 1 1/2. 1 3/4. So you're just adding a quarter turn every time and building this grid. Detune the whole thing again, flip it over, right? Bring it up again. So right now there's 3/4 of a turn on the bottom. So I'm gonna bring it up a quarter of a turn on each lug. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay? Now there's a full turn on the bottom. Then again, I would flip it over, record through the tuning range again, detune it, flip it back over. You get the idea. So I've done this already. So what I'll do is just take it right to where it know that it sounds good. So some of my favorite tunings were this one here, which is 2 turns on the bottom and 1 1/2 turns on top. One of the tuning ranges I had marked down that I liked in my grid is 2 full turns on the bottom. Okay, so we got to put another full turn on the bottom, right? Because we're at 1 full turn on the bottom. We got to go to 2. So let's go half a turn at a time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. A little more. Okay, so another half turn will take us to 2 full turns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's have a little listen. See if we're in tune here. Pretty close, okay? So now we got 2 full turns on the bottom with a couple adjustments. And what I like is 1.5 turns on top, right? So this is at 1. So if we put another half a turn on top, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay? This is a tuning that I have marked as one that I like in my grid. Right? It's pretty ripping. It's pretty tight. All right, so there we are. We're at 2 turns on the bottom, 1.5 turns on top, right? We could keep going. We could keep cranking this snare up. Let me just let you hear what the bottom sounds like. Pretty tight. Right? Some people like to really crank the bottoms. Let's go another quarter turn, see what happens. Was that 8? Stop counting. All right, 2.25 turns on the bottom. 1.5 turns on top. 2.25 turns on the bottom. Let's detune the top a quarter turn. I don't know where that puts us. 1.25 on top? I think I missed a lug right there. That one. And I liked some of these too, these tighter tunings on the bottom. So this is 3 turns on the bottom and 1.25 turns on top. Cracking, right? 1.5 turn. 1.75. Does that make sense? You've gone from touching, right, half a turn on each lug, and you just start bringing the heads up, recording a quarter turn at a time, top and bottom, until you got yourself a grid. Then you listen through your grid, you figure out, oh, that's what I like. That's my favorite sound that this snare makes. All right, I hope you enjoyed this, everyone. Don't be afraid to tune. It's the only way to really learn how to do it. I could get you started with this type of thing, but you got to get in there and start turning the key and figure out what your snare drums like to do or what all your drums like to do, okay? The more you do it, the better you get at it, and the more you understand it. Using this method is a really good start. It should stop you from losing track of where you are, because you need to know where you are in order to get where you want to be. This is getting a little heavy for a snare tuning episode. All right, thanks everybody. We'll see you at the next lesson.
Revolution, my friend.